Bonjour, hello, Nunque, Star Woman, Wendigwad, Sacred Circle, CBT, Indigenous Adapted CBT model. And I'd like to share with you today a tool that we use in our bundle of healing and wellness called the Mind, Body, Soul Reflecting Tool. This tool was adapted from traditional CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And so it might be known as an activity tracking or mood tracking worksheet in a typical CBT protocol or workbook. And so I wanted to put a focus on adapting it to reflect the mind, body, soul, and the intention of reflecting daily on goals that we have to strengthen those. From Indigenous perspective, daily reflection is critically important to our health and mental health. And so I adapted this tool. It might typically look linear in fashion with the days of the week from Sunday or Monday to the end of the week, and with times all throughout the day. And it can be used to record feelings or your emotions throughout the day. For example, if you're struggling with low mood, you might put in feelings or times when you're feeling sad or discouraged or pessimistic. You can also use it for activity tracking. So looking to see in Anishinaabe culture, we would say Minopemadzwin. So how do we achieve the good life? And what are activities that we're doing towards that? In typical CBT protocol, we always want to be tracking activities or a behavioral manifestation of our goals to see if they're leading to the accomplishments and to a feeling and experience of the mood and the emotion that we hope to achieve. And for me, it was really important, of course, to also focus on body and spirit and to consider, what are we doing daily to nurture our spirit and nurture our body? Most Indigenous cultures, in terms of wellness, we see wellness as inseparable, our body, our spirit, our mind, with our emotions, and also our behavioral manifestation of goals and spirit. And so I think it's really important to look and contemplate on that as well. And of course, spirit could, it's however you relate to your spiritual experience, your soul, or if you don't identify as a person of spirit, your seated awareness, or your unconscious self. So this can be helpful if you look at each day. We've broken it up here according to morning, afternoon, night. And so it's really helpful if you can intentionally make some time to reflect each day within those time frames to see what it is that you're experiencing. In this example, so a typical worksheet would be blank, and we'll include that with this video clip here. But here we have an example that's been graciously gifted to me to use. And so it's filled in, and you can see this person also did a great job of rating their feelings and their goals out of 10. So that can be really helpful, especially when we want to track emotion to see how strongly are we feeling certain emotions, and to look to see what's the pairing of that with what we're behaviorally doing or engaging in. And just an encouragement here from an Indigenous worldview is you really want to focus on balance. So from a strengths-based perspective, not just necessarily those emotions or activities that you're worried about, or that are maybe your reason for seeking more mental health or wellness, but also the balance of those positive emotions. So tracking not only things like sadness or anxiety or stress, but also tracking things like joy and peace or contentment, happiness, connection. So, those are equally important to understand the balance of who you are and understanding that there's sometimes dichotomy in these things, but that makes up a fullness of who we are as human beings. So, if you go through, you could track again from morning to afternoon to night for each day. And this is good to have an insight into your day, but also at the end of the week to look to see weekly on average, how are you feeling? How are you doing in terms of your goals or activities? Are you plugged into the right environments, the right situations to support mental health and wellness? And then, how are you from an Indigenous perspective again? How are you feeding your spirit or nurturing your body so that you can have that full experience of wellness? At the center of this is the Circle of Strength or Sacred Circle CBT model. If you're wondering what that is, we have another video that you can check out about that. I hope this tool can help you lead a good life, Minnow B'Madswin, and thank you for listening. Boma P.